America, and welcome to the Home Front. My name is Michelle Posey. You know, if you're like me and you've been searching for programming that maybe isn't woke or isn't owned by the lamestream media, well, search no further. You have found it. You are officially home. This is the Home Front. We're the real American voice of American women. I have a wonderful panel of guests here with me. Ladies, as we go around the table and introduce ourselves, I want you to tell me your name, and I also want to tell me, what is your superpower? We'll start over here.
Hi, I'm Allie. Thank you guys for joining us today. I guess two. I'll pick two. So one superpower of mine is being a mom, right? And the other is my inability to give up. When I have an idea in my head or have something that I want to do, I just go for it and do it. It doesn't matter how many times I'm knocked down.
Determined.
So yeah.
That's really good. That's good.
Well, I'm Demi, and I think my superpower really is my voice. You know, I get to fight with it. I get to love with it. You know, I speak life into things, and I think really, if you think about it, it's just everyone's superpower, male or female. But that's personally mine.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I'm Brianna, and my superpower, I think I have to pick two as well. One,
We're overachievers.
yes, we're actually literal superheroes. One would be, I don't want to say getting whatever I want, but like I get what I want a lot, especially just because I'm a daddy's girl. Like, hey dad, can you do this? Yes. And my other superpower is communication with someone who has a difference of opinion. I feel like I'm very good at almost taking the disrespect and not taking it personal.
It's needed. That's
huge.
That's
Yeah.
very much needed.
That's a good one. My name is Michelle, and I'm going to go with two also because really when she said superpower, I thought I cook good spicy food.
Awesome.
That's my superpower. But if we're going to be like in our professional world, I would say my superpower is clarity, that there's a lot of confusion, and I pinpoint
That's
what
good.
the real issue is.
That's needed too. That's really good.
That's really good. That's
And,
really
and
good.
we need you to bring some food. Just saying.
Absolutely.
It's always with food.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Michelle as well. We're Michelle squared here today. So I think my superpower is just kind of a thick skin. I think, you know, things bounce off of me real easily. I have a witty sense of humor.
Whimsy, yeah.
So it's almost like, you know, you have to have that because when you start developing that voice and you want to really be loud and opinionated, you're going to get feedback. You're going to get kickback from that. And so being thick-skinned, so maybe that's kind of where you get it. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's cool. So, you know, we're not just moms, a lot of us, or grandmas or whatever. We're super moms. So I want to thank you ladies for joining us today. I want to just give you a quick update on what the Home Front is. You know, we'll cover topics, really nothing's off the table. But what we like to do is show a different perspective than maybe you get typically. Today we're bringing in a wonderful young lady. She is musically gifted, musically talented, and I would imagine that is tough to do today in today's age. You know, all of the entertainment and arts are kind of sucked into this one pillar of just you have to do things a certain way. So the Home Front wants to welcome Chloe. Chloe Castillo is joining us remotely. Hi, Chloe. How are you?
I'm great, Michelle. How are you?
We're doing great here at the Home Front. I wanted to bring you on as a guest because, first of all, you're young, and I know we need to make sure that we're not losing that younger generation in their viewpoint. You are trained in classical. You're a classical pianist. Why don't you tell us what that's been like in your journey to make music?
Sure. So thank you for having me, by the way. I love the show. It's so great y'all are doing this. So I started playing piano when I was 4.5. And I started with classical music. I asked my parents if I could take lessons when I was around 3 or so, and they kind of like thought about it for a while, and then I started when I was 4. And I just took to it immediately. I love classical music. I've been very blessed to grow up with parents who played classical music and like old time, Rat Pack era jazz my whole childhood. So I grew up with great music in the house. Um, and as a classical pianist too, I experienced so much just beautiful, wonderful music all around me because I was super, super involved as a musician in San Antonio here. You know, competing all the time, performing for any event, they asked me to be there. I would be there performing and playing. I loved it. And I think that it's kind of interesting because so many people today, especially my generation, just doesn't have an understanding of what real music is and what good music is.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like I'm so blessed to have grown up with that real, true music. And I think that it's kind of brought me to where I am today with trying to fight back, I guess, in our culture through music and through the arts and through culture, seeing what's going on in our society and in America, and taking music and saying, hey, this is a really important part of the fight. Culture is a huge aspect of winning back America. And so I think that kind of coming out of being a classically trained pianist, having that as like all I knew my whole life kind of growing up, and then getting on social media when I was a little older and seeing what people were listening to and hearing, I was like, wow, this is, not only is it just not music, but it's completely been infiltrated with the left's agendas. And so coming from that standpoint of just loving real music, I just decided to fight back, and that's where I am today. And so I'm so happy that, there's people like you guys who are out there fighting and who are giving a voice to musicians such as, myself and many others, people who I'm working with. I just think it's fabulous. So.
That's awesome, Chloe. Do any of our panel members have any questions that maybe you'd like to ask Chloe while we've got her here?
I do. Chloe, thank you honestly so much for that that little spiel that you went on. It's fantastic that you are pushing back against the indoctrination through music. But my question for you is a little bit more personal. What about performing in front of people makes you excited? Like, what about that drives you?
I don't know. I've always loved being a performer. When I was little, I'd like put on shows in the house. I'd set up like an autograph booth and have my parents come by and I'd sign their programs and stuff. I don't know. I think I just love entertainment. I love providing that for people and giving them the experience of, art. And I just think it's awesome. I love performing.
Music is such a conduit, and it's able to connect people of different genres and different backgrounds and different walks of life. And I think what you're doing is amazing. So continue doing that. Thank you so much.
You are so sweet. Appreciate it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what would be your favorite song to cover on piano?
Ooh.
Oh, a cover?
Yeah. Like, what's your favorite song?
That's hard. I don't know. I've been loving Jimmy Levy's song "Amen" recently. I love that song.
Good.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So good.
So good. So, okay, now I'm going to ask you to do the obvious. We want to hear you play, Chloe. Can you play us a little something?
Okay. Absolutely. So I'll play y'all a little bit of a project I've been working on with Hadass Levy. We're working on an album together right now, and there's a really, really awesome song on it. So I will give y'all a little taste of that. This is actually, I'll do a cover on her singing actually because I don't have Hadass's voice. So we're going to do that.
Awesome. Thanks.
Sure.
Wow, that was amazing.
Girl, I think you gave everybody chills, and we're all like teary-eyed. That was fantastic. I can't wait to hear the whole thing.
I know. I'm almost thinking that the next time you're in the studio, we should come and pay you a visit because part of music, it has a healing conduit to it too. And we're also heavy burdened with some of the things we're going through in the world. I think you're at a perfect time, young lady, that you're bringing this wonderful, joyful music and even emotional music to the American people. Tell us how people can connect with your music. I know you're on social media. Where can we go to find more about you?
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram, classically_Chloe, as well as Twitter. I think that's just Chloe Castillo or Chloe Pianist. I'm not sure, honestly. But Chloe Castillo on any platform will bring me up, and YouTube as well, Rumble, any of those will work.
Awesome, Chloe. We're going to catch up with you soon. I promise. I want to hear more. Thank you so much for joining us on the home front. Awesome. All right, ladies. So we're going to send our audience to a quick break. But before we do, you all have a packet near you. This is a little treat. I don't know if you guys at home have heard of Bella Grace, but Bella Grace has a lot of products. They've got skincare. They've got this particular is called the Elixir. Brianna likes it a lot.
She really does. No, I like it too. It is really good. I mean, look, if you don't have it, you need to go buy it like right now. Like go right now.
Well, and these are like, I call these, I don't know if I can say it, they're like little shots, okay? So you take them, not those kind, not the kind, that will give you myocarditis. These are the good shots. I'm sorry. Did I say that?
No, you're not sorry.
I'm not sorry. But if you go to Up News BG, and Up News is another program on Patriot TV, but if you go to upnewsbg.com, scroll through, you'll find the Elixir product. You just tear off the top, take a quick shot. You can do them twice a day. We're going to take ours. You guys go watch a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be right back with more Homefront. Stay tuned. Can't open mine.
A lot of people are having great success with a weight management program with Bella Trim, but it's just a tool. In terms of ingredients, Chromex or chromium picolinate improves the actions of insulin, so you have better glucose management, and in addition, it promotes fat utilization. Fat utilization, or fat burning, is also a feature of metabolate, which are two botanicals that stimulate a switch called AMP kinase. And so you tend to burn fat, reduce belly fat or visceral fat. Who doesn't want that? Metabolate has the ability to stimulate satiety or reduce those cravings. That's really very, very important. And it does that by raising GLP-1 levels. In addition, we've addressed the microbiome by using prebiotics, healthier microbiome, better weight management.
Hi, welcome back to the home front. Ladies, I know we just had the beautiful Chloe Castillo on, playing her wonderful classical piano. So it kind of dawned on me, entertainment's changed a lot. And I think it changed without me even realizing it changed. So what do you guys think is happening right now in the entertainment industry, and how do we make entertainment great again? Any ideas?
I don't know how to make entertainment great, to answer that question, but when Chloe said that she had heard some of the music and it didn't sound like music, that it was actually not beautiful music, it really kind of went in line with, did you ever hear about the 45 points of Marxism? And one of them was to make things ugly, to take down the beautiful and to make things ugly and, like formless, shapeless. Yeah, like they're growing little nihilists. Yeah, so when she said that, I thought, oh my goodness, it's even happening to the music. You can certainly see it happening with art.
That's exactly right. Well, when you take away creativity, right, everything becomes ugly.
Or individualism.
Or exactly. And so you're not able to, especially when you take away the ability for someone to think for themselves, and you stifle free speech, which is you're able to speak what you think, I think you kind of stifle creativity. And then that's shown throughout music, where you don't have people that are writing their own music anymore. You don't really have composers anymore. It's just nothing really sounds good. I turn on the radio and all of the music just makes my skin crawl. I can't listen to it. It does something to me internally, makes me angry. And I'm like, so it's either Christian music or it's instrumentals from or old school, like what I would consider older school, old school music, because it just has a different feel to it. But I guess to answer the question is to just, try your best to support the ones that do sound like
true.
actual music. Like support
That's true.
those that are, you know, speaking truth or being creative in their music and have like a really nice, good beat, a good feel to it. I think that's how we can change things.
Yeah, and I used to, in a previous life, I used to teach dance. So I taught dance to like young kids. And that was one of our biggest, I guess, obstacles, is that you want something trendy for them. You know, you want something trendy, fun, but I was constantly listening to the lyrics and just like, oh my gosh, like
Blown away.
first of all, you know, everybody would say, oh, they're not going to know what it says. No, it feeds into their little tiny spirits, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to put that on somebody's soul. So I think I like trendier music. I mean, I like country. I like.
do too.
And I grew up in the
Very
90s,
eclectic,
right? Very
My playlist is
eclectic.
very eclectic.
But there is that feeling of like, I don't know, there's not even that mainstream music that you could kind of listen to that doesn't make you feel like you need a shower afterwards. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Well, the lyrics is so bad too. They're just so bad.
I have a very eclectic music taste as well, and I like some of the, like, I like the 90s R&B, where like it is kind of like not clean.
It's
but
not.
In the same
But it's
sense,
good.
like there are people out there who are gonna have like different interests, and they should be able to listen to what they want to listen to. It's just I just feel like kids should not be listening to it, and so it's like we have to somehow, parents need to get more involved, make sure their kids are not listening to that type of music. And the only way that really happens is if we are supporting the people who make clean music.
Like my son loves Tyson James. Like he will listen to Tyson James all day long.
Who's Tyson James?
Tyson James he's a Christian rapper, I guess you would consider. But a couple of years ago, he and Bryson Gray did. They were MAGA rappers, is what they were considered. But now they've kind of shifted gears, and they're more Christian rap, Christian hip hop, which is really amazing. I mean, they do talk about current topics and things of that nature, but it's really awesome. And then my daughter loves Riley. I can't remember her last name right now, but she sings "God Made Girls."
I've just heard that the other day, and that makes me think too about, you know, not even just music but films. Some of my favorite films that have come out in the last
Raylan, that's her name. Raylan.
Some of my favorite films in the last 2 years have been not by your mainstream studios. You look at Patriot TV, right? What we're doing, I don't remember who it was that said a lot of conservative, even television and podcasts, are dominated by men.
Very true.
And so here you are, you know, you're trying to just do your part. But I think you're right. We need to support maybe those alternatives, right?
I think also what Chloe said was interesting, and like music speaks to the soul, and it tells a story, and it tells a part of the story that you're not going to get in reason or rationale, right?
Absolutely.
So when we cut that off, we're cutting off that emotive part of us, that sensory part of us. So if anybody does good music, get out there and play. I mean, there's free places now to post it and share that. Don't keep it to yourself, because I do think even your age group is able to see the world and communicate to the world in a different way. And when you can do it through music or humor or film, it's such a great way to spread the message and to communicate, rather than everything is so divided that if we're just talking about it all of the time, instead of, who is that guy, like Richmond from Richmond?
Yes, man.
But remember how that like hit, because like that told what we were feeling,
It did.
right?
It was so good. I mean, if you are creative at all, and it doesn't matter what it is, if you're putting skits together and it's like improv, do it. Like, put it out there. Don't be afraid to be creative and just let your freak flag fly. Like, we need that. We need more of that in I guess the conservative movement. Like, now, and what's interesting I like to bring up too is that, you know, not everybody that participated in building this nation were I guess the best individuals, right? Like they all had their own way of doing things. They all had their own humor, their own sass, their own, you know, ways of just being. And I think that's important to highlight as well. So you don't have to fit into a box, a very specific box, but if it's clean and it has a good message, I don't see why not.
I like that. I think, so we're created in God's image, right? So God creates. So maybe we're most like God when we're also creating, and whatever that looks like. Maybe it's building a house for some people. Maybe it is writing music. Maybe it's being a beautiful pianist. But I think what I've witnessed, and I can share this, even with my own family, because my daughter was really into the entertainment, dancing, singing. That got completely hijacked, mainstream anyways, and a lot of young kids especially were disenfranchised by that. So where do you go when you have that gift, that talent, that skill set that God created you to create music, film, whatever? Where do you go when you realize it's either you're going to have to compromise and do this, or I guess just not do it? And I think we're at a point, America, especially here at the Homefront, we're at a point where that is no longer going to happen. We are creating alternative routes, and I think we just, as moms or as women here, we just all want to give you permission. Go find that talent and go do it. Go do it. Like Michelle said, there's plenty of private platforms or that you can just post your own stuff. Get out there and do it.
Well, and you can't change culture if you're not in it.
That's good.
I'm
going
like,
to
I'm
steal
full of
that
these.
at some point.
These is one-liners.
These are Alley-isms. We're going to call them Alley-isms.
No, but it's true. I mean, we're called to be a part of culture, and if we're not pushing culture in the right direction
And shaping it right.
and shaping it in a good way, then we are seeing the fruits of that currently in the world.
Wow.
So get in it. Get in it. Don't be afraid to get in it.
That's wonderful. Well, one person who has dipped their toes into this entertainment industry field is America's General Michael Flynn.
Sorry. Super fan over here.
I love it. I love it. I don't know if you ladies have had the opportunity to see Flynn's documentary, but for those of you at home, he is on a 35-city nationwide tour. They're bringing the truth in that documentary, and finally his story with his words. I won't say he's revealing where the bodies are, but he's revealing where the bodies are. And you have to get your own copy of the DVD. Also, you can, somebody asked me the other day, how can I download this? And so I was trying to tell them, yeah, streaming platforms. And then she said, no. How can my mom download this?
Right.
And I knew what she meant, that one click and you're done kind of thing. So I have to tell you, at home, Amazon now has the Flynn movie on there. And if you're hesitant about using Amazon, I'm going to tell you, we are perfectly allowed to go into the enemy's territory and take back what was ours. So you get in there and you download as many of those Flynn movies
And
as
then
you can.
after you watch it, leave a positive comment, because that forces all the liberals that are watching, they're scrolling through their Amazon cart and they're trying to find, they can find it, right? What a better way to stick it to Bezos and say, General Flynn, America's General, is #1 and will stay #1. So
and
that's good. It's
you
awesome.
can leave any comment really, but I mean, obviously, if you go in, if something really stood out to you, go in and comment on that. You can. It's streaming on Apple. It's streaming on Amazon. You can go to flynnmovie.us.
It's on YouTube too.
It's on YouTube too. Go get it and see it for yourself. We're going to take a quick break for a couple sponsor message. We'll be right back with more Homefront. Stay tuned.
President's former National Security Advisor, Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, pleading guilty today to lying to the FBI.
Flynn knew exactly how the system worked. He knew exactly what the intel world had been up to. He understood its funding. They had to get rid of Flynn.
There was a moment where I just felt like I was drowning. And so I'm in there with these other political appointees. They're all supposed to go in there and tell what they believe to be the truth. What they did was they took my assessment and they wanted me to change it. And I was like, I'm not changing it.
He was, by definition, the most dangerous possible person for Donald Trump to hire.
President Obama said, but I do have one specific recommendation. Stay away from Michael Flynn. He's bad news.
Over time, instead of being pounded down below the surface of the ocean, we started to fight. I'm now above the surface.
Hi, welcome back to the Homefront. We are switching the conversation just a little bit. I saw a report, ladies, the other day that said that the birth rate in our country has declined, I think, 3% since 2022. And that's the second statistic that's the second time it's dropped. It dropped even since 2020. So it became clear to me that something's happening with maybe people wanting to have children. I don't know if it's a decline in sort of our family structure, but I thought that was very, very interesting that we're having less babies.
Is that strictly just abortion, or does that include miscarriages?
Well, I don't. That's a very.
That's a good
That's
question.
a great question.
That's a great question.
Well, I do
fair
know
question.
that I believe there's over 1 million abortions in like the last quarter of the year, like the first quarter of the year. So I mean, or from 23 to now.
And the reason I ask is because the COVID vaccine does cause infertility.
It does.
So.
Well, there's a lot of infertility actually going on. So.
Vaping also can cause infertility.
Well, I mean, all things like the food we have, like the stuff that you're doing to your body or not, exercise, like all of these things, your hormone imbalances, like all of that plays a part in whether or not you're able to carry a baby full term or. You know, men have low testosterone, low sperm count because of the food that they're eating, because of the things that are in our food. So I hear carnivore diet is very good for your libido and your testosterone. So gentlemen, go and look into that. Your wives and your wives will be very pleased. I'm just, you know, just throwing it out
Nothing
there.
wrong with a T-bone steak.
But I think to your point, it's that they don't want to get pregnant in the first place. I
Well,
think
that too.
I mean, I think the culture lies to young girls and says, you know,
I think
you can
so.
wait, you can wait, you can wait. That's one thing.
Career first.
And then they
Be a
go on
career
birth
woman.
control, so then you've got hormones for 20 years.
Right.
Yeah. So and I think that they frame it as having babies ends your life.
Yep.
So live out all of your life and do everything you can until you have babies. Complete lie.
Well, I mean, the way that I see it is like, I mean, I would never go on birth control because of all the side effects. But, you know, culture nowadays, let's say I'm out having sex, but I am wanting to focus on my career, but I get pregnant. Okay, I can give this baby up for adoption and I can carry this baby for 9 months. I'll probably end up attached and I probably will end up keeping it. Or I will give it to adoption and it'll grow up in a world that is not really where it should be right now, probably in an orphanage somewhere. And no one will adopt it because even adoption, you have to be like adoption is very strict.
Yes, it is.
They don't
It's
even allow
difficult.
Christians to adopt anymore. They're trying to make that a thing, I guess. So it's like the only other option is abortion.
So, Brianna, do you feel like your generation, whatever it is, whether it's friends or like social media, do you feel that push of almost like not grabbing on to wanting to have a husband, like the traditional family?
Well, I think it's okay. I have a little bit of a difference of opinion because I personally would never get an abortion, but I would never tell someone else not to. Right. So I'm like kind of teetering on the line with that. But I also just don't have a lot of information about it. I don't really have enough information to make a knowledgeable opinion on it. Really.
I get it.
So, but as far as like, you know, household, I mean, yeah. At my age, if I were to get pregnant, the pool of people who would be the possible father, it's not looking great.
I don't think it looks great for anyone. I have single friends, and they're struggling to find good, strong, conservative men that are.
I'd rather be a single mom.
Right.
I know.
I feel that. I have friends that are single moms, and it's like it's the pool of men is very, very, very thin. Older men too. Like if you're single in your 40s, like God bless you if you're dating right now, because the ones that are really looking after them are the younger ones.
And it's true.
It's hard,
it's true,
right?
But why? We haven't domesticated them. It's a free-for-all out there.
It's crazy.
2 dates and women and men are expecting to get laid. So there, that's what you're doing to us, all of the women. That's what you're doing to us.
Okay, OnlyFans, knock it off.
Yeah, like why we're creating the animal that we say we don't want. So.
And then blaming them for
it's their nature
to want that.
roam.
They're supposed to chase you, right? And if you give it and they don't chase you, where's the chase? There's no chase.
Well, not only that, they're not going to want to wait if it's, you know.
Yes, exactly. That's what I've experienced, is that they don't want to wait.
It doesn't matter what a quality woman you are. They're like, no thanks.
So I've got 2 personal things I'd like to comment on that, ladies, because back to you for 1 second. I want to just bring back that you said, you know, if I get pregnant now and then I have my options of giving it up for adoption because you don't want to do abortions, right? I was actually in that predicament. So you girls know who my daughter is.
Yeah.
She's 27. Well, she'll be 27 in July. She's still single, guys. But she wants a strong conservative man.
Taking
That-
applications.
Yes, taking applications. I do all background checks, everything. But with all seriousness, I was in that position. I was in college, my 3rd year, going into school for nursing, and suddenly I get pregnant. And everyone's like, oh, your world is coming to an end. And I said, no, I'm going to continue going to school. And as I'm going to school, everyone starts to notice towards my very last trimester that I've got a little bump. And they're like, oh, what's going on? And it's not my, college first 15 pounds. It was, I'm pregnant, and they actually kicked me out.
Whoa.
They told me I could no longer live on campus because during that time, I was 21, I'm 48 now. During that time, it was unacceptable. And so my only other option was I'm a single mom now. And at the time, her dad just wasn't interested. He felt like his life was over. And that was the biggest fear. So what happened? I met this wonderful woman by the name of, I want to say her name right. It's something Kay Kaplan, if I'm not mistaken. If I say the last name wrong, I'm so sorry, Kay. But she was remarkable. She came alongside me. She found out I was pregnant. She heard all the stories that was taking place on campus. And what happened was she took me to a nunnery where all the nuns go. And apparently all the girls that were pregnant who didn't want to have abortions were giving up their children for adoption. And during that time, I wasn't really walking with the Lord clearly. I was pregnant, right? I was doing all the wrong things. And I just felt in my heart like, okay, wait a minute. God gave me this baby. So maybe I'm supposed to keep her. And I just didn't feel right about giving her up because of what they were saying. It's not your baby. You have to remember it's not your baby. You're giving it up for adoption. Don't give it a name, not even a cute word like squirt or peanut or anything. You are not supposed to connect with the child.
That's like going against your own innate,
natural abilities of what God has given
womanhood.
you.
Yeah.
So to your point, that is a fact. People do that, and unfortunately, they don't encourage you to keep the baby at that time. But again, your life is over. And that was 27 years ago.
Oh, they're still doing it.
They're still doing it, right?
My oldest is 16, and I remember being pregnant, and it's just, even my 6-year-old, it's like everyone tells you all these horror stories and how your body's going to change and you're never going to be the same, and it's like, it's awful.
It's all about you, like the me. And then I want to go back to you because, Michelle, you made a statement, oh my gosh, just about the men and how, I want to word it correctly, it was basically just the men that are getting involved and they don't want to participate per se. What exactly did you say? Because I want to.
They're looking like 2 dates in, I think.
2 dates in, right?
2 dates in, and they just.
I am now married 18 years this August, and my husband had to wait even though I had a child. And he waited. He waited. That was 18 years ago. Not all men are like that, right?
No.
But you have to let them know up front. I know I probably shouldn't advertise this, but Steve Harvey, do we all know who Steve Harvey is?
Think like a man.
Think
act
like a
like
man,
lady.
right? Act like a lady.
That's such a good book.
And I've never read the book. I just knew based on what all of my girlfriends were saying. And I'm like, ladies, you just don't have to do that. Apply what the word says.
Know
the
your
Bible.
worth.
Yeah. Know your worth. Know your value.
Yes.
You don't have to, am I going to say this?
Give it away.
Give it up. Ladies, you don't have to give it up just because you want to be in a relationship.
Keep your cookies in the cookie jar, girls.
Yes.
A certain number of men just went click.
You know what I've realized is that a lot of guys, like girls, especially me, I went through it where I was like, well, if I don't, then they're just gonna leave.
Then let them leave.
Let them
Yes.
leave. You're okay
Yeah.
on your own.
Yes.
I'm on
Well,
my own. I'm single, and I have never been happier.
And
But they're not gentlemen either.
There's also this other part of because there's I believe in 1 in 3 girls now have been sexually assaulted. And if you're sexually assaulted at a young age, you automatically feel like if I don't give it, it'll be taken from me. So it's a power thing in a very twisted way.
Wow, what a perspective. I didn't even think of it like that.
Yep.
I struggled with that for 3 years after I was 13, and 3 years after I was very.
I was
struggling with
12,
that.
and so you're fearful that if you say no, because he's a man or older than you or bigger than you, that it will be taken from you. And so it's like, it's a way to shield yourself, protect yourself, but you're not really doing that. You're giving yourself, your most intimate self to someone else. And there's a lot of science behind that. Like it's like these soul ties, and if it's unprotected, it stays with you. And it's like, there's all of these things that go into it. Heart, mind, body, soul. It's all connected. So just be careful out there, ladies.
Don't give it up, ladies. Don't give it up. Find yourself a gentleman that has chivalry.
That's right. And that's got to be harder right now. I'm thinking even with all these dating apps, how two-dimensional is that to try to find out
another product. Somebody can develop this idea, right? A totally different way of dating.
Wait,
Repeat
so
that?
wasn't
I didn't
there
hear what you said. What was that?
It's just like a void in the market. Right now, you're right. The dating apps flood the market. They're like transactional. It's very difficult to sift through them. I haven't been on them yet.
I thought there was a conservative one. It was supposed to be for men
As though they're
to
different.
find women, but it turned into like a women's platform to find men. And because there's only women on it now. There's not a lot of men on the platform, and I can't remember what the name of it was, but they had t-shirts at CPAC and it said "Dump Your Liberal Girlfriend." And it was really cute. That's really funny.
Well, another thing that plays into this, and we're a little bit off of having the kids, which is where this started, but another thing that plays into this is, not your age, but at my age, they've been through a divorce or two.
Yeah.
The law is not to their favor.
Right.
You know, so it's
Yeah, well,
we
and
have a
think about
broken
it.
culture.
You know,
Very much so.
This is probably not even on topic, but
Narcissism, nepotism.
based on the fact that you're saying that, I feel like I think we're pretty close in age. Even within our age, right? What do we fight against? Men don't want real women. They want women that have facelifts and look pristine and perfect and wrinkleless. Like, come on. It doesn't even matter whether you're a believer or not. You're always going to struggle because that's the expectation. That's what's on the market. I don't know.
Filters.
Someone jokingly said something about the Kardashians. Listen, I'm not advertising them because I don't believe in one thing that they do is right. But think about it. They set the stage and everyone's following suit. Fake bottoms, fake breasts, fake whatever.
And that expectation starts from childhood. If you look at every single female in cartoons, when do you ever see someone that has hip dips? That has a flatter chest.
No. Barbie.
Look at
when was Barbie created?
Mrs. Incredible.
19 something.
It's so true though.
She does look hot.
Oh my. No, seriously. I mean, it's the image factor, I think, is really important, especially if you're a divorced mom and you have several kids or have 2 or 3 kids and your body's just not what it used to be.
I call them warrior scars.
Right, like you're so self-conscious, like, is the new man that's going to be in my life like going to accept this flabby skin on my stomach and like going to understand that this is
battle scars.
Zebra stripes,
Battle
tiger stripes, battle
I'm gonna use
scars.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's wild, the kind of the stuff
So
we're up against.
It's tough out there. I think somebody said it best. Maybe we need to have somebody out there use your creativity and start some kind of a dating. If you ever watched a show, I don't know what it's called, but they don't get to actually see the person they're talking to or dating.
Yes.
Oh,
they have to go through like a few
Yes.
weeks of, because I don't watch Netflix ever, right? That's not on my TV ever. But it's on there, and I think that's a good idea to almost have to make that connection first. So if you're out there and you're a whiz on the computer or you're a whiz in production, maybe we need to put something like that together out there that just is a dating app or something that allows you to make the connections first before you actually make those decisions. No, you want to see who it is.
Attraction is important.
Let me see what I'm getting myself into.
And I agree with that. I think the connection is important, like building that kind of foundation where you're getting to know each other before it's superficial, I think is important. But attraction is important as well. If you're not attracted physically and that spark just doesn't, you know what I'm talking about, ladies.
Girl, I
you
do.
can feel it. Like if that's not there, it doesn't matter how deep of the connection is, they're always going to be friend zoned.
You're like, let's be friends. Yeah.
Right.
Personally, I actually have never dated someone based off of their looks, like ever. It's always started off as friends, and I've gotten to know the person, and then
And that becomes
that's
more
how it
of an
works.
attraction.
That's
So
true.
the
Right.
connection
Doing
thing
it.
is good. However, I've had this happen where it's like, oh yeah, I'm 20. You look at them, they are not 20.
Oh no.
They are not 20.
Careful, ladies, careful.
I bet that happens both ways.
Wait, how old
It
are
does, I'm sure.
they? Like older?
Like 38.
Oh my!
Oh no. No.
Gas station 4 days ago.
Oh my
Shut
word.
up. Are you serious? That's
Girl,
wild.
okay,
No,
you know
no,
what?
no,
We're
no.
gonna have a talk
No.
during this next break.
I've had high schoolers hit on me, okay, and I'm like, guys, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
High
gosh.
schoolers
So
have a lot of confidence
I'm like,
for their
ooh,
age.
okay.
Actually,
No.
if you think about it, those high
They're so
schoolers
bold.
are having mama problems.
Right.
To go to
Mommy
older
issues.
women,
I'm
they
not
have
your mama.
mommy issues. That's what
Oh,
that's
that's
coming
scary.
Oh, that's why I feel like I've been a mother to all my exes.
Oh.
from. It's because they're looking for
so
that
much.
nurturing relationship. They're looking for that that person who's going to be able to control the situation or their scenario. It's crazy
I like strong
how
men. I
young
can't-
men
yes.
are doing that. That's why they came up with the word Kruger and what's the other one?
Cougar
There's-
and panther.
Oh my God.
I didn't know these words.
Listen,
Oh, you're so cute. A cougar is someone who goes for like younger, and then a panther is someone who goes for older.
For older women.
Oh,
hold on.
really?
Let me. I'm so out of it here. I did not know that. Okay, I'll have to Google that later. Or
yes.
DuckDuckGo that.
Mommy issues thing. I'll be in Walmart and I'll be like, babe, put down the Hot Wheels.
But we also have like women that have daddy issues too, right?
Yes, and that's
Yeah.
why
And
they
so,
want
like,
the older men.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. There are 14-year-old girls online. I only know this because of the stuff I do voluntarily. But there are 14-year-old girls online that are seeking out older men because they have daddy issues. So this is why we have to have that unit. You were mentioning it earlier today,
unit.
how you have to have that strong family unit. There's a
Yeah.
mom, there's a dad, and there's the children. And they were designed that way on purpose. It wasn't an accident that God created man, then
Yes.
women, and then he said, be fruitful, multiply.
But you have to feed life, put life into your children, right?
Yes.
Let them know that so that you don't have some smooth talking person, male or female, come to your child and tell them things that they've never heard before.
Yes,
Right?
Come on.
And gentlemen, men that are married, date your wives. Love your
Yes.
wives. Talk to your wives.
We go
touch
on
your
dates.
wives. Feed your wives. Date them. Make sure that you are telling them how beautiful they are, that they are the light of your life, so that they don't go find it somewhere else.
Yes.
Girl, you are on it today. Yes,
That
I agree
grass-
with all of the above. Because I still, and we were talking during commercial about chivalry and different things. Married 18 years, and my husband still opens the door for me.
Chase your wife.
Yes, we love the chase. We love the chase. So
I love
yes.
I can open my own doors.
Oh no, stop it.
Every time that I have relied on a man to do it for me, never does.
You need to set
So-
that
So
expectation.
instead of being let down, just do it myself.
No, honey, you set that.
You've said that you were single, right? So Michelle, what is it like being single in today's today's
Climate.
world and today's timing with all of the nonsense that's going on?
I mean, it's really not horrible. I mean, I have great friends, but it's horrible dating. Like the concept
Okay.
of dating is not
I was
fantastic.
about to say.
Right?
It's
Right.
horrible.
Yeah, it's not easy to find quality people. I think that they're out there. I think men want quality women. I think God designed us to have the other, and to be loved and to love well. Right. So I think it's out there. I just don't know I don't see where culture has created opportunities to meet. So it's kind of on people who are in the circles, if you're married and you meet great single people, to keep in mind, I know somebody.
Watch out for your friends.
Yeah, I just have a friend who was single till 38.
Wow.
Till 38. And she had a friend, and the friend had a friend, and that friend had a brother. And like over the course of many months, they were talking about the brother, and she remembered a friend from months ago. And I was
so
like,
cool.
yeah, that's how it works, right? Now
That's
they're
a good
married.
idea. The idea of kind of double dating, bringing that back. We're going to wrap up here for the home front. And one of the things we like to do, because we are literally sitting at a kitchen table, is to give a little bit of homework. So my thought is, and it's funny because this conversation went kind of a different way than maybe I originally thought, but I think maybe a good tool for homework is maybe for everybody, whether male or female, whatever, is to take time to get to know, if you're single and you're kind of in that dating world, what it is that maybe you would want in a date. Kind of come up, do a lot of self-care, figure out who you are and what you might need and what you might want. And then those of you that are married, I'm going to go with what Allie said. Date your spouse. I think you need to pick one day this week, something that, I know for me, something that's been working is I'll do something that I know is maybe more of a pastime of his, which is really me giving, okay, I don't know golf. I'm not, but I will sit in that golf cart and sip a drink with you. I absolutely will. So maybe find something that you can do with your significant other and date them. Yes, Brianna.
I have a date idea.
Okay.
Pool hall.
Ooh.
Teach your wife how to play pool.
Bring stuff. Bring all the old school stuff.
I like it.
Back.
Oh my I like it.
Bring it
I
back.
like it.
Bring it back.
Drive-in movies. Like, do it all. Dancing. Oh my gosh.
Bowling. Someone suggested
Bowling.
Bowling.
Batting ranges. Guys,
want
take your girlfriend to the shooting range.
Yes.
Just saying.
Oh my god!
great-
If I ever was
that's a
asked out
great
on a
date.
date to the shooting range,
Shooting
oh my
range.
gosh, marriage. I'll put a ring on it.
Like, oh, so when
in
we're
there.
gonna plan our wedding in like the next 2 weeks now?
Yeah.
That's
love
good.
Weird way to propose, but I accept.
I love that. Don't forget, guys, watching that you can check out the homefront.tv. We've got some pretty cool swag there. We are also a citizen-led, citizen-funded show right now. So we just talked about how to make America, but make entertainment great again. Go on there and donate. We could really use some sponsors and some donations. We really appreciate you joining us here on Patriot TV. We'll be back next time, but until then, America, have a great day. Thank you.